It's Wednesday, August the 9th, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley is assuring the country that this month's premier regional cultural festival, CARIFESTA, will be safe. Lashley's assurance comes on the heels of Monday's shooting incident during Grand Kadooment on Spring Garden, in which one man was shot dead and 20 other people injured.
Even without this event, CARIFESTA has always had a very sound security plan. All of the venues, of course, will have top-notch security, heightened security. There is a security plan in place, and there is a security team led by the Royal Barbados Police Force that is involved in providing security for CARIFESTA. So I can assure you that those arrangements are in place to ensure that CARIFESTA is safe.
Given the high number of road fatalities recorded this year, the Barbados Motoring Federation is planning to implement a driver education program aimed at bringing that rate down to zero. President of the local federation, Andrew Malolu, revealed this after a meeting with President of the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, Jean Tot, and Prime Minister Frondel Stewart, Health Minister John Boyce, and Transport Minister Michael Lashley, when they discussed an enhancing road safety in Barbados.
We will start with education. We will continue with enforcement, because that is important. And of course, there is the design of the actual infrastructure that we have. But with those three pillars, I believe that we could have zero deaths from, and that's our goal. And on our way to get there, if we get 22 down to 11 and 11 down to 5, every life is important.
The contentious National Social Responsibility Levy is on the agenda of the forthcoming meeting of the Social Partnership. Officials of the unions and private sector met with Prime Minister Frondel Stewart at his official residence of Illawarra Court yesterday afternoon to finalize the agenda for Friday's discussions. While not disclosing the details of the final draft, President of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, confirmed to Barbados Today that their concerns over the increase in taxes would be addressed.
We were all cordial. We understood what needed to be discussed, so therefore all of the partners came with a mindset to discuss those important issues, and we were able to settle, as I said, on what should be discussed on the 11th.
All right. Now, basically, from a preliminary testing of the waters, so to speak, at this, early meeting, do you get a sense that when you do meet on the 11th, what is set on that agenda when it is revealed would be achieved?
Well, that is my hope. That is our hope. I don't believe that we should go into any meeting without expecting some kind of significant result.
Barbadians are being warned to prepare for a devastating storm that could hit the country anytime in the near future. The forecast came last night from Chief Magistrate Christopher Birch, who told the 20th anniversary lecture of the Urban Development Commission that Barbados was due a big storm.
We need look no further than Thomas. Never did we think that in modern, well-equipped, sustainable Barbados, that we would be called upon, or would indeed have to live 3 or 4 days without electricity and water. Indeed, we don't have to look too far for ongoing water problems in an island that is fresh water poor and trying its level best. So, again, departing from the script, let us prepare ourselves for the time of trial, because actuarially and historically, we get hit with something big every 50 years. If you look at the hurricane patterns from 1730 onwards, we are hit every 50 years, give or take. And some of you may say, but what about Thomas? What about this fella here? What about that fella there? What about the near misses? When we look at our neighbors and our brothers in the Caribbean, that does not happen. No matter how well prepared and advanced planning by the state may be, a traumatized populace is a challenge that can create more harm than good in the aftermath.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Who calling?
ain't get your yams and potatoes. Wait, my girl, how you want to see you for long?
I got how you keeping, but you don't sell the nation paper no more.
But that paper ain't selling. This month now I stop selling that. Look, one time I would have make a little dollar on the Sunday sun. But when Sunday night, I still trying to get the weather there.
Well, you know you can't call that the Sunday sun no more. You gotta call that sunset news. Cause at night time that news stale.
People complain that them ain't got nothing in it to read and the price keep going up all the time. A woman abused me so sick the other day, telling me that she does read Barbados today online for free. I couldn't take that abusing soul, so I switched to my potatoes and yams.
Well, let me tell you, if pork selling, you got to raise pigs. How much for the yams?
Oh, 75 cents a pound.
But that's cheaper than that stale news. Give me...
How much you want?
a pound.
Only a pound? Anyhow, these eating real good. Let me wrap them up for you. Come.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Unions in Trinidad and Tobago continue to stay out of the Tripartite Consultative Council, saying they'll only return when there's a truce, a stop to retrenchments, and a meeting with the Prime Minister.
The calls are coming from all sides for the unions to rejoin the Tripartite Council, the Prime Minister, the Employers Consultative Association, and today the Joint Chambers, saying the economy of Trinidad and Tobago remains in a highly vulnerable state and urgent concerted action is needed.
Workers continue to be retrenched on a daily basis, and by the way, it's still happening. We are not here in the Chamber and the ECA or any one of them pronouncing on that predicament.
Roger remains steadfast. Businesses and the government disrespected them by laying off workers. He wants a truce, stop retrenchment, and they'll come back. But first, a meeting with the Prime Minister could speed things along.
The one who is responsible for the government and who has the ultimate responsibility for governance in this country. We want to have a talk with you.
Roger was speaking at the breakfast shed after having lunch. He says they are part of the 99%. Roger made a call on Friday for a boycott of approximately 120 businesses owned by the so-called 1%.
We are going to be compiling, and we have already started that process, compiling a comprehensive list of that 120 businesses. And we are also compiling a list of alternative businesses that you can shop at.
And on the global front, President Donald Trump followed up his incendiary warning to North Korea against threatening the United States with a boast today about the strength of the American nuclear arsenal, although he expressed hope it will not need to be used. Trump's Twitter messages about the nuclear arsenal came after North Korea said it was considering plans for a missile strike on the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam. The sharp increase in tensions between a country that has one of the world's largest nuclear arsenals and an aspiring nuclear power rattled financial markets and prompted U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to try to play down the rhetoric.
What the president was doing is sending a strong message to North Korea in language that Kim Jong-un would understand, because he doesn't seem to understand diplomatic language. And I think the president just wanted to be clear to the North Korean regime that the U.S., unquestionable ability to defend itself, will defend itself and its allies. And I think it was important that he deliver that message to avoid any miscalculation on their part. Well, look, the North Korean missile capability can point in many directions. So Guam is not the only place that could be under threat. No, I never considered rerouting the trip back, and I do not believe that there is any imminent threat in my own view.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.